Hello everyone, welcome to Manvi Tapes. So today is going to be an ultimate war between acrylic and oil paints. So before we start, let's look at the characteristic of oil and acrylic so that we don't judge them just like we judge people before knowing them. So let me introduce you to acrylic paints. They dry very fast. Not only that, they are very vibrant to look at. So it depends now. For example, if I pick an acrylic palette, first thing and foremost, I need to explain to all the newcomers that I keep my oil and acrylic paintbrush separately, because acrylic paintbrush are, can you see, the bristles in the end they dry up and the bristle spreads, but oil, they remain smooth as it was. I keep my two containers separately. Oil container is the small one and the water container is the big one, so that I can differentiate. Because in this situation, time is your enemy. So unless you are a pro in this and you know each and every stroke of yours, I would not advise you to use this. But if you are a pro in it, it becomes your friend, because then you are a pro artist, you have a lot of paintings to do and a lot of work piled up, then I would say the acrylic paints become your friend. Now, let's go on to the oil. So I'm going to rinse my paintbrush very properly, clean it up. Always put your paintbrushes dry and cleaned. And before we start, I'm going to clean up the palette. Let me introduce you to oil paints now. So when it comes to oil paints, it's very different. Let me introduce you to oil characteristic. It dries very slowly. It takes a lot of time, which means it gives you more time to work upon your skill. And if you are a beginner, it's a very good start for you. I know that's a very controversial statement I'm giving. Usually people prefer acrylic, but I feel for my students, if I need to teach up a new skill, then I would advise them to use oil. But there is one drawback, and that is in oil, it changes its color when it dries with time, just like people. See how smooth the blending is with oil. But a lot of people do not like the solvent. So you must be confused. Now what to use? Oil or acrylic? How are we supposed to decide? Wait and watch. Sometimes it also depends on what kind of painting you are doing. For example, if an artist is painting something which is realistic and needs a lot of layers, then I advise oil painting, no matter how time-taking it is. It's an abstract painting, then I always advise acrylic painting. Reason is that it gives vibrant colors. So, as per situations, you change and you choose people accordingly. Just wait and watch to see who wins the game. I'm almost done with these two. I'm done with an acrylic one and an oil one. You can already look at how smooth the oil is and how with strokes the acrylic is. So now again, you know it very well. If you want to show a painting with more strokes, you can always use acrylic. And if you want to show a painting with less strokes, you can always use oil, because it blends very well. Now, even if you want to show a drastic change, see, I can use this to blend. See, it's still blending. Even because it is still wet and it has not dried. Can you see? It's still blending very smoothly. If I want to add more colors on it, I can, because it's still very wet. Similarly, when I look at this acrylic, I use more of this. It will not blend. I'm going to take out more paint. I'm going to show you how acrylic is going to show in this one. When I use more acrylic, there you go. See, it does not blend well. It is not blending because the paint is dried. Now if I want to blend in with this one, it will not blend. It will just give a red color. But over here, if I still have room to blend more color, I can even blend it here, because it's still wet. Can you see? use a bit of oil. Now when you see this, not only that, you can also see how acrylic is less forgiving and oil is more forgiving. How? I mean, a certain part, if I have done a mistake, oil is more forgiving. And if I want to remove a certain part of it, I can easily do it by removing this part and even the layer under it. I can easily remove it. There. But when it comes to acrylic and if it is dried, then it is difficult for me to remove. See, it's less forgiving. There. So you can see that there is another difference. Now you guys must be confused. What should we be using then? Acrylic or oil? As per people, I would advise you, do not focus on negative things. Focus on their characteristic and look where you can use it best. And where the acrylic shows its best result and where the oil shows its best result. My advice will be, use oil paint if you are a beginner and you need more time. And if you are a pro and have less time, use acrylic. Yes, it's a win-win. Wished life could be as easy as painting.